And we're back with some more Timberborn. And today we are going to finish out our industrial brick. We're going to have power, industry, storage, everything all in the same spot. We just got to put in the power first. And that is the power section of our industrial brick done. It's basically just lots of wind turbines. There's 9 there, another 9 there, so there's 27, and then at the top we have, well, extra large size turbines. Basically the 5 tile tall ones, the ones we couldn't put in the lower levels. Comments were like, just stick them on top. We don't have to worry about building a layer above it, and I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, that makes an awful lot of sense. Why didn't I think of that? So that increases our power to, how much we got here? Currently, this is power supplying 3,654 hamster power. Over here, we've got 2,106 on this other grid. So we're actually producing more power here than our previous grid was generating entirely. Also, all of these batteries, we have slightly more of them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We have 2 batteries more, and they store 34,000 hamster power. These batteries here, there's only 5 of them, and they only store 20,000 hamster power. So we're actually sorted on a lot of fronts. Now it's time to put in a bot building industrial area right here. Before we lay down the first part of our industrial block, what we want to do is go on about robots. You see, you can use this little building here to make beaver bots. Requires bot chassis, bot heads, bot limbs. But basically, using this, you can create artificial beavers that are, well, better than their fleshy counterparts from what I can see. And where is it? You're going to need, though, 1 bot part factory. In fact, it's not quite accurate. You're going to need 3 bot part factories. See, one of them is going to want to make the bot chassis, as in the body. Another one's going to want to make the bot limbs. And the last one's going to want to make the bot heads. And all of them are configured so, well, all of them combined, the combined output of these 3 will support 2 bot assemblers. So effectively, what we want to do is build all of the infrastructure necessary to start churning out robots at the maximum pace for 2 bot assemblers. Of course, we're going to need a bunch of production to go with that. For example, if you want to make robot heads, bot heads, it requires 1 plank and requires 3 gears and 1 metal block. At the same time, we're also going to need 1 plank and 3 gears per limb. Also, all of these things line up. So it's 4.5 hours for 1 limb, but you need 4 limbs to make 1 bot. So it takes 18 hours to make 1 head, it takes 18 hours to make 4 limbs, and it takes 18 hours to make 1 chassis, and all of that combined makes 1 bot. But we will also need to get our hands on biofuel, more metal blocks, and planks. Alright, now, there is this underground mine you can produce. That's required for the steel. You see, all the other stuff we have access to, but the steel or metal blocks, consistent access to that could be tricky. So there is this mine. It consumes treated planks, and then those treated planks get turned into scrap metal for you. Basically, the miners are able to go down, and the more treated planks they have, they can go down deeper to get more scrap, and the human mines never really run out. So, it's just an infinite way of getting stuff. We can't place it on this map because, well, when I edited this map, I never put in an underground mine. I didn't know they were necessary. Anyway, point being, we need to fill out the infrastructure, and then we need to figure out some way to cram it on the ground floor of this building. Looking at the numbers for this, we're going to need 3 of these lumber mills to churn out boards. Then some of those boards are going to get ground up in here to turn out gears. Then we're also going to have these wood workshops that turn out treated planks. We're going to need a bunch of pine resin for this. I think at a 100% work speed, it's 42 pine trees to keep both of these running. But it's okay, we got like about 100 pine trees. We should be fine, probably. Yeah, then we've got a smelter. We need a smelter to turn the scrap we get from the mine into the metal blocks. Oh, and these treated planks, they need to be fed to the mine to produce that scrap. Then we've got, one second, biofuel from potatoes. You see, these robots need fuel to function, and biofuel from potatoes is the absolute best from what I can see. If you look under the refinery, you can see that it takes 2 potatoes and 2 water to make 30 biofuel, which is pretty much more efficient than everything else. Well, okay, you could use spatterdack, but that requires more water, and I want to minimize water consumption. Oh, and it took me a while to figure this out, but robots only use 2 biofuel a day. It's actually 1.9 or something. But basically, 1 operation of this, as in 2 potatoes and 2 water, will keep 15 robots active for an entire day. That is absolutely mental. This is so water efficient, it's crazy. I used to think it was going to take like 30 biofuel per robot per day, but no. No, no, this is going to be super water efficient, which means we can cut down on the organics and switch over to a lot more of the robots. And the catalyst here is a bonus. It boosts the efficiency of the robots. The robots actually start with a pretty nice happiness bonus, but I'm pretty sure I made some... 1 second. Over here we have a couple of timber bots working in this building. And if we click on them, we've given them a catalyst and a punch card. And now their working speed is plus 170% and their movement speed is plus 80. So getting the catalyst and the punch card is actually quite useful for making them, well, super good. So if we can get our hands on the catalyst here, which combines maple syrup and extract, we can give them the catalyst to boost their productivity. To get the catalyst, though, or to get the catalyst, we're going to need to make extract. So we're also going to throw in this building, which is the centrifuge. And then at the same time, to make the punch cards, we're going to need the printing press to make the punch cards. I don't know if we can make enough with one, but we're going to try for now. And then that also requires paper, which means we need a paper mill. Yes. So, we need to cram all of this under one of these. Now, there is some nice things that go on here. For example, bot part factories can be stacked on top of each other, so that's good. And we're also going to need storage for everything, which is where things get even more awkward. So we're also going to have to cram in underground piles. We're going to need, actually, a few of those. From left to right, we're going to need one underground pile for log storage, so we can feed that into, well, all of the things that require logs, which is the lumber mills and the lumber mills. It's a lot of things. Then the planks, which are produced from the lumber mill, will need to be stored somewhere so they can be turned into gears and such like. And then we're going to need one for the treated planks that we're going to be sending off to the mines. Then we're going to need one for the scrap that comes back from the mine so that it can be fed into the smelter to make the metal blocks to turn out the robots that will be working in the mines. Then we're going to have the metal blocks to be stored from the smelted scrap. Then we're going to need to have somewhere to store the pine resin that goes into the treated planks, somewhere to store the paper that goes into the punch cards, that goes into boosting the performance of the robots. And then we're going to have somewhere to store the punch cards, and then we're going to have somewhere to store the gears that go into the arms and legs of the bots. So we have to take all of that and then squeeze it nice and neatly in there. That's a lot of stuff. We may need more space. Give me a few minutes while I play around here. This here is my first attempt at doing the storage. It's basically one deep storage on the ground floor, then some dirt blocks above it, and then a second deep storage. We've done something similar before, but this should still fit under the 5-tile high roof. Yep. To get access to it, what we have done is placed, well, stairs that go up here. So people will have to, or like all of our beavers will have to come from this side to gain access to the top level ones. So we'll probably use the lower throughput ones on the top level, and things like, say, logs would go on the ground floor. So, yeah, logs definitely go on the ground floor. Planks as well. They're going to be high throughput. And we need to stick in 5 of those. Ooh, so we could probably put 2 of them back to back, or we could put 2 of them side by side. Actually, side by side might be more efficient. And then... that could actually act as a path between them. So it's just easier for... like, if beavers get up here, they can still get down and go around. Yeah, no, this might work. Give me another few minutes to stack on a few more of these. The back of this storage area is a bit annoying. The only thing that really fits in there would be these buildings. Centrifuge, bot part factory, bot assembler, a large water tank, and a large warehouse. Yeah, I forgot that we were also going to need to store maple syrup, and we're going to need to store catalyst. So we actually need an extra 2 storages. It always keeps expanding, the needs. I think I'm leaning towards large storages. We can put them in here. And then either put them on top like that, or have them come out sideways like this so that we can service them from this direction. Though, 1 second, I think I want to reverse this. I think I want these on the other side. The way we've organized all of our platforms is one side has a 1-tile high platform, and the other side has a 2-tile high platform. So that's in the build we're currently using. So I'd like to optimize the use of those. So if we have these on the other side, they'll be able to immediately pop off onto this walkway, which is already a road. Distractions, and more distractions. And we need 4 large liquid tanks. I had forgotten. We have 1 for maple syrup, 1 for catalyst, 1 for biofuel, and 1 for extract. And I'm pretty sure there'll be more stuff we'll add in. Right, but I stuck this all down here and I thought, okay, that looks fairly okay. And I put it on the ground floor. Reason being, well, I was going to start mixing and matching, as in what we could do is, say, put down one bot part factory beside a storage or something like that. But then I realized that's going to be terrible for power pass-through. Then I thought about putting power under the floor, but, even then, we're still looking at that only being on the ground floor, and the moment we go up a level, it gets all sorts more complicated again. So, I figure what we do is we put all of the storage on the ground floor. Then what we do is, on the next floor, we start putting production. But then, of course, I started looking at that. I'm like, fine, we can do the production. We're going to have to leave gaps in the middle so that the beavers can pass through to the other side to improve efficiency. And then that led to the realization that, well, if we've got a gap here as well, why don't we just put a big stairs up the middle? So then I was trying to figure out how to do stairs up and down, and right, yeah, I ended up down a little bit of a rabbit hole. You see, stairs. I know I said I wasn't going to try explaining them, but there's been a few requests. People, it seems, are very interested in stairs, and a comment really made me realize I'd been doing them wrong. Quick demonstration. Okay, this is the current stairs design I'm using. And for every block up you want to go, the beaver has to walk up one flight of stairs, then cross 3 tiles to go up the next flight of stairs, which means to go up one block, they have to pass across a stairs and 3 other blocks. Then let's just simplify that and say they have to walk 4 tiles to go up 1. Whereas if a beaver was just to walk straight up a stairs, they can go, well, up 1 tile, and every tile they walk is 1 tile up until they get to the top, at which point it's, 2 tiles because, well, they got to get off get onto the landing. So this is just a faster way of going up. Of course, you can't really compactify it, and there's no off-ramps. You see, the joy of this is every single ramp is an off-ramp. You can place this beside anything, and the beavers can get off at literally every single block along the way. So what we want to do is basically minimize, for our particular build, how many extra tiles they have to move when going up a level. So what kind of term should we use? Tiles per up. For every tile up you want to go, how many tiles do you have to cross? So for example, on this one, it's 4. It's 4 tiles for every 1 tile up you want to go, and for this one, it's 1. It's literally 1. 1 tile for every 1 tile up you want to go. That's far more efficient, but less access to different levels. So what we want to do is come up with a stairs design that works with this particular little build, and we want to squeeze it in. So I've been playing around here trying to make this work, and it's been, it's not great. I want to make some redos here. You see, the problem I was trying to solve was getting up and down quickly, which is fine. This beaver can start over here. They walk to the top of the stairs, then they can take a cross-section back up, and then it goes up again. However, just say the beaver starts over here, and the beaver needs to get to over there. What'll happen is they'll have to walk the entire length, which is 6 tiles. Then they'll have to go all the way up the stairs, which is 5 tiles. Then they'll have to go 6 tiles back again. What I want to do is do a double stairs where there's 2 stairs side by side, crisscross. And that way we can optimize, because we're going to have all the storage on the ground floor. And if we're doing that, we want to minimize the travel distance. Is it entirely necessary? No, we could just throw masses of beavers at the problems. But if you're going to design it, design it well the first time, so you don't have to redesign it later. Okay, I think I got it. It looks like a horrific mess, but I think it's not that bad to explain. Basically, we'll just scratch this and just show you how to demonstrate one entire level. It's actually very straightforward. The first thing you do is you just grab a stairs on each side. So, for example, whoever's coming up that stairs is going to pop up that one. Then we chuck a stairs the other side, just so that we're all on the same page. And now, I like to make sure that these levels here are accessible. So this level 1 and level 2, because this one is 2 tiles high, this one is 1 tile high, and I like to keep those around in case we need to build any storages or buildings that are going to require access to those levels. So I want to integrate that into the stair system and still try and keep it not too uncomfortable. So what we do here is we place, rotate around here. We're going to place that there, and then give me a 3 tile high. Right there, perfect. Give me a 2 tile high. Boom. So now this stairs can access this section. Now we're not finished with that stairs yet, but before we continue with it, we're going to do this one over here, which has to get up to the 2nd level. That's also pretty straightforward. We're going to need a 3 tile high. Then we need a 2 tile high. Done, and a stairs. And now both sides can now access each level. So anyone coming up this stairs can access this level. Anyone coming up this stairs can access the other. And then we just continue these stairs straight up as before. So you give me a level 1. Oh, and there's a giant hole here, but that's okay. That's okay. That's why we have these platforms. And you can put a 2 on top of that. Then we get a 3. Wait, no. Put a 2 on top of that, then a 3. Then the stairs just continues right on up. And boom, we're at the top. And if we rotate around to the other side, it's basically a case of just replicating that behavior. And then it's a repeating pattern. You can just do that up and up and up forever. Meaning everyone gains access to each floor as they need it. And that's a 2, and a 3. Yeah, starting to get the hang of this. No. Done, 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 and one last floor up. And finished. Then it's just a case of sticking in some dirt tiles. There's 3 goes there, and 3 goes the other side. You could just use platforms, of course, instead of the dirt tiles, but I just like the consistency that provides. That means all we have to do then is, well, we can make this 3 tiles wide. Every single story will have a road like that, meaning every single beaver can get up and down and go from one side to the other, all on these stairs. And the cost is like 6 tiles to go up 5 floors. And they've gained access to either the second floor or the first floor or the second floor as well, allowing them to access all of these subcomponents like this area here, the large warehouses, or these underground piles which we've stuck up here. So there's plenty of opportunities for the beavers to get on and off and onto whatever they need to access whatever they need. Perfect. Then all we got to do is figure out how we're going to build these. Oh, power. Yes. Like, we're probably going to have a power spine running through the middle of this, so we can run a power spine probably through here. Second. So we could say run a power shaft through here, and then a couple of stairs either side. And boom. So that means even if it's a powered floor or an unpowered floor, we can still run everything. Beaver can get across, easier access. Right. Now we're going to do is just finish out the design of each floor. I think it's done. Wait. One adjustment. I've decided I'm going to go with 2 tile high levels on each side. Originally, I did have this idea where I was going to have one side with 1 tile high levels and the other side with 2 tile high levels. But that was all to do with underground piles. You see, once you start putting underground piles on the second floor, you run into this problem where, well, you can't place them. There's not enough, dirt space. You see, we can't place an underground pile there because, well, it dips to the floor. So what you could end up doing was just put down another layer of dirt. Then you go to storage, chuck one down, and boom. You now have one on this level 1 floor. Meaning perfect. You can now go and access that as needs be. However, since we're doing all the storage on the ground floor, that's no longer necessary. And since the storage is on the ground floor, well, then most of the stuff we're going to be doing now has 2 layers like this. It's going to be on the second floor. And even here, a lot of the access is going to be on the second floor. So I figure we just switch over to a, 2 tile high. We'll have to do some minor modifications to the stairs, but basically we're just copying the one on the right side over to the left. It's basically going to be a mirror image now, so not a big deal. When it comes to these, though, I organized them as best I could, but this should allow for decent amount of productivity with hopefully not too much running around. I mean, we have separated the floors from each other, but I think something like this is going to be 3 tiles. You know what? Let's just start building it and see what it shakes out as. This is going to be a bit of an industrial scale project. I mean, this is how long it's got to be to support everything, and we haven't even started building the actual bits that go in it. I'm going to put some stairs on one end, stairs in the middle, and probably maybe even stairs on the other end. There might not be space for that. This is going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. But nope. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We got this. We've got most of the stretch in, though. We're going to have to put some floors over here, aren't we? Not going to worry about that. We actually have to leave this still accessible for the water to overflow through, which kind of adds a little bit of a natural vibe to it, which I will admit doesn't appeal to me. I prefer if we could just landfill this now, but we can't. And we need this production up and running so we can get the robots pumping. So instead what we've done is we're putting in the second layer of stairs here, and we will easily be able to fit in the 3 tanks right there. So that's 9 tiles of space. This looks just about right. Want to make sure all these stairs go in before we start building, and that we still have the 3rd and 4th floor to work with. So first, second floor are already taken. Third and fourth floor we can dedicate to power if needs be, or we can just double down and make more. Actually, no, we'll probably put more industry on the third and fourth floors, just so that we have, well, enough lumber. I did notice that our logs basically went through our planks went through the floor the moment we started this, and so there are logs. On our log front over here, we were not harvesting the oaks as fast as we could make them, so what we've done is we have installed some extra lumberjacks. One extra lumberjack, so 3 lumberjacks with 1 forester. We might even go up as far as a 4th lumberjack. So I'm not sure if the forester will be able to keep up at that point, but you know what? Let's give it a go. We'll stick in a 4th one right there. Yeah, that looks pretty symmetrical. And with the 4th one in, we'll see if the lumberjack can keep up, because we are eating through our logs and our planks at a ridiculous rate. Okay, good luck to you, number 4. We'll come back to a bit and see. We want to make sure that all of the trees in here are getting harvested when we really want them, which is, well, I bet. Oh, you finished the stairs already? Wow, you're on point today. We'll just stick a floor here on the end, and then we can start building this whole thing out. Oh, damn it. I just realized this is where the deep piles are supposed to go. Deep piles can't be stuck into platforms. We're going to need to put the deep piles over here on this side. Oh, that means that stairs has... Let's just reverse time a little bit. I'm going to have to demolish all this and start from scratch. Ugh. Actually, wait. This is 9 tiles. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only need 10 tiles for the other side. So, we can just say, demolish this road. Yep, demolish that path. Perfect. Put the path on the other side. That gives us 10 tiles. I was trying to keep a consistent theme because that has the path on the left side, but yeah, this could work. 1 second. Yeah, that's enough space. Perfect. Let's finish this off over here. Then we can start putting in this storage, and then once the storage is in, we'll start on the second floor. See, it might be an idea to start the second floor a little bit early so we can... Nope. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. It's just we're going to have to wait a little time for the planks to come in. I was thinking if we get some extra production, it might help. Oh. To increase plank production, we have deleted our smelter. We don't need it anymore because we've no scrap we can work with. And we've also deleted one of our explosives factories so we can put in more lumber mills. We are just churning out as much lumber as we can possibly get our paws on. Okay, first thing we're going to chuck in here is the deep storages we have organized. So I think it's 1, 2, 3 tiles across. Give me another 3. And then give me 2 underground piles. I keep calling them deep storages for some reason. I mean, they look like... They are deep storages. They're just... Never mind. It's just my brain doing whatever it does. Alright, you. You'll give me a tile there, there, and there. And we are going to want to, I suppose, rotate you? Oop. Yeah, that seems good. You can go that way. Oop. Yeah. Yeah, give me 1 second while I put a layer across these two. Perfect. So we've got our underground piles, but the underground piles, that's what they're called. Anyway, the deep storage underground piles can go there, and then these guys, oof. I'm gonna have to make some changes here, aren't I? Yep. Damn it. Can't see the doors on these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put... Fine. We shall demolish this. We're also gonna have to demolish you. And then we're going to have to put in 1 tile high Yokimi Bobs here. And guys, out of the way. There. That's 4 deep piles, or underground piles, all set up. We need to put in a 5th one in a minute, but we'll worry about that in a second. The 5th one's going to go over this side, which, yes, we definitely have plenty of space for it to fit this side. Yes, grand. But that means we still have to put in the large warehouses over here. So, 1 there... 1 there, and then on top. Boom. And that should be hooked up to the stairs system. It's so hard to get the 3D. Like, okay, we're trying to make this as compact as possible so we have as much space left over for farming and water storage. So that's why we're building everything upwards. Plus, it's more fun. So these guys are going to come up here, and yeah, they can definitely get around into those 2 warehouses on the top floor. And now we just got to wait to accumulate a lot of logs and planks. I maybe need another floor of, like, trees just to keep up with this production. Right. That's storage complete on one side, so we can now wall this over. I'm trying to keep things open until we've got them finished. And then what we can do is chuck a big wall over the top of them, or chuck the dirt over the top of them. You can go to about there. That's fine. And reverse that on the other side. Okay, now before we tuck into this section, I'm getting a little bit nervous about our steel. We got 351, but a lot of the buildings we're about to start producing are going to require a lot more. So I would like to tap into this mine now. If we can start harvesting that, that would make me feel an awful lot better. This place has been completely strip mined. We could probably recycle some of the junk here as well. How much is a zipline station? It does cost 20 steel. You know what? No. What we'll do is we'll just stick... We'll put one over here somewhere. Actually, where are we going to have scrap stored? Once we know where we have scrap stored, put a zipline station nearby so that we can zip back and forth to drop it off. So here's the thinking. We stick in a zipline station right there. And then we connect it to this pylon here. It's pretty much as far as we can stretch it. That pylon can link back to there. Second. Done. Then we have this also continue on and link up to this one, which is, boom, done. And then from there we have it link up to this one. And boom. And then in here we stick in the mine that you need. We're probably going to have to put in a bunch of storages near here. Like this thing eats treated planks. But it takes 250 logs, 350 gears, 200 treated planks. That's going to be a thing. So this might take a drought or two. But no, we can do this. And then the problem was getting all of those bits and pieces together, like getting everything over there. So how do we get our beavers over there across this, well, not exactly wonderful terrain? I think we're going to be doing a lot of stairs up and down. We also want to make sure that they don't get caught in any bad floods that might come along. But I think through here is probably our best bet. Here is our most dumb plan. Stairs down here, zigzag across, another stairs down, zigzag across, stairs down, up. Then that gets us as far as here, where we can build that hopefully from the ground floor. Then over here, 3 stairs up, build that pylon, 2 stairs down, 3 stairs down. Then we're going to have to dig through here and then, destroy these trees to get them out of the way. And then we're going to have to build a platform up or a stairs up there once those trees are out of the way. This could take a minute. Our beavers are going to be busy for a while. That's why I want to build this now, is because I'm worried we won't have enough materials after we've built everything else through here in terms of steel. Once we've got this done, though, it'll also give something to do for our beavers. This can hold 10 beavers, so they can go, get their bodies into the mines. We'll see how much damage it does to them. Yeah, it's going to take the beavers a little while, but they've got time. We're effectively immortal right now anyway. It's just a case of designing this. I want to make this as compact as possible, and that frees up so much more space. What I want to do, actually, is get rid of a bunch of this water. Right now, I'm just planting some trees down here, pine trees. We need a little bit of extra wood, so pine grows relatively quickly. So that will hopefully tide us over the hump, and then we should be through to this mine in no time. And once we're through to the mine, then we can concentrate on finishing out our little production thing for bots. And that should be the last zipline pylon, and then it's just a case of getting over here. This is a horrible mess. Suppose we could have actually come from this. Nope. Not changing this now. We want to have this from the front. Should be a quick case of getting in, and we can modify this later to put any storages we need. This is not working out perfectly. First, finish the zipline station. It took them a minute to realize the zipline station was available because we hadn't finished the last platform under it. So this has gotten 97 gears manually delivered from the like a bajillion miles away, everyone walking there. But from now on, all the beavers should target this because it's got the higher priority. We'll make this lower priority. There we go. So, game's finally caught up. They're going to prioritize doing the zipline station. Once that's done, the production should ramp up quite a bit. Oh, and you, I want you to make bread. And you, I would like you to grind wheat flour. Might need a few more bakeries. I haven't been actually processing this wheat, and we've got the spare beavers. We might as well do it. That's more like it. High-speed beaver travel. Might take a minute, but we can fill this up. I think we have... we're a little bit short on logs, but that'll be no problems. Gears were good, and treated planks, yes, we got them. All right, give it a day or two, and then we'll have that up and running. I think we are done. Mega mine up and running. What do you need? Treated planks. This building isn't connected to any district center by paths. Oh. Done. Okay, that's like 10 beavers are immediately in there. We're going to need a bunch of treated planks as well. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to bring along the treated planks themselves. So one treated plank gives you 5 scrap. Okay, where's the rest? Yeah, there's the rest of the beavers. We'll probably want to put a treated plank stockpile nearby, which means we're probably going to want to build a little bit of a platform here to hold the treated planks. There. Will require a bunch of legs to be built for it, but the workers will be along shortly, and this should be pretty quick. Alright, that gives us scrap metal. Yeah, scrap metal's already up to 46. Perfect. Now we can start filling this out. One thing I did was stuck down 2 bakeries. That should get us more food. We were running a little bit low there. Or not low, it was just, we'd sort of run out of chestnuts. Turns out I only had 1 chestnut grill, so we've doubled up on 2 chestnut grills to complement our 2 grilled potatoes. So 2 sets of grilled potatoes, 2 sets of grilled chestnuts. At the same time, we've now got these 2 down here. That should hopefully stop food for now, and once we cull our population and once the bots are up and running, we won't have to worry about food again anyway. Since our mine is now fully active, we're just going to chuck in our ground floor of storage here. One of the reasons I wanted the mine up, the storages we're putting in are large liquid tanks. They require 30 steel per tank. Kind of expensive. Actually, wait, where am I going to put these? I want to optimize for upstairs delivery. You know what? Who am I kidding? This is going to be a mess. We might have to move things around later. But we'll sort of figure it out as we go. As in, the first time you build one, you'll normally figure out something you should have done probably slightly differently. That's 3 there. 4th tank back here. And then 1 last deep pile storage, right? Underground pile. Damn it, why do I keep calling it a deep pile? Never mind. Right, well, once that ground floor is in, which is going to be a little bit expensive, we can then start working on the industry on the next floor. One quick detour because I forgot bad water. We need to store bad water here so that we can turn it into extract. Yeah, that's that was sloppy, but it's okay. Caught that, and we had actually left ourselves space because we always know we're going to mess something up. Perfect, that's the down floor. All of storage is done. Let's seal the top of this sucker and start work on the actual industry. Beautiful. Pristine. Exactly the way we want it. Wait, did I measure that right? Oh god, please tell me I measured that right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, good. We got enough to... For a second there, I thought I messed that up. Alright, let's start putting in the equipment. In fact, let's just chuck it all down and put the ghosts down and you can see what's happening. That's the, that is the start of it. I forgot to put in the powertrain first. So powertrain will go in first, then we'll build this line of buildings here. Then this line of buildings will go in. I should probably prioritize this powertrain over here as well. And make sure that goes through. And it should build all of these. We want to try to get that smelter up and running, but it's pretty much all the way in the end. Well, we weren't planning on deleting our own smelter when we first built this, but once that smelter's up and running, we'll get more steel in, which I would really like to make sure happens sooner rather than later. And then the last few things that have to go in would be... Oh, yes, that's it. The centrifuge, that's going to go on top there. And then at the same time, the actual bot fabricators themselves... The bot assemblers, yeah, they're going to go on top here, but I'm going to wait till we have a little bit of metal in stockpile for that. And that's going to be our industrial section, at least for making the bots. The 3rd floor will be dedicated to making more industry, but general purpose stuff that we're going to use for building and expanding out our industry. This is just for building bots. Like, literally everything here is just for the bot construction. And smelter is up and running, so that'll get us in some metal blocks. We'll probably put some extra smelters on the top floor. And I have turned down the amount of workers in the mines. We only need about 5. The amount of scrap metal we're bringing in is more than enough to keep this one smelter functional. And that should give us more than enough metal to get us started on producing bots. We have the base done. We just have to get the 2nd floor buildings. For the 2nd floor buildings, we will have to put in a little bit of the stairs. It's a little bit messy, but we're trying to just get ourselves up and running so that we can add the robots to our workforce. Otherwise, we're going to have to get more organics and dump them in, and Somehow I am spending every single beaver we get on whatever jobs. I have no idea how. I should probably pause a bunch of random stuff that we're no longer using. An unconnected building. Oh yes, this one. Don't worry. It will be connected shortly. We are currently putting in all of the stairs networks for you. We had to chuck down a couple of extra smelters to help out, but we finally have the 50 iron necessary to build our first bot assembler. We shall put you right there. Oh, this feels so messy. I'd kind of like to get more done, but at the same time, we are a little bit short-staffed, and I want to make sure the bots get up and running. So, with that started, actually, wait, bot part factory. Your production is going to be... Actually, are you paused? You should be paused right now. But you will be designed for... let's go with bot chassis for you. Over here, you're going to be bot limbs, and over here... You're going to be bot heads. We'll start you up later. We want to wait until this is finished and we've made sure that all the metal blocks have been assigned. And done. Bot assembler finished. In that case, you start. In fact, all of you bot related people, you can all start. And you, well... What's wrong with you? This building isn't connected to any district by paths. Oh. You know that bit where you just miss a little bit of roads now and then? Now it's connected. Perfect. Of course, we are now short 8 workers. I think we'll pause research for a bit. We need the haulers more than we need the researchers right now. We've got 98,000 research. I think we'll be fine for a bit. Okay. A bot head was just produced, which means it's probably being transferred over here right now. That's someone going up the stairs to do it. There we go. And they're starting to produce the first bot. This is going to take a while. It says 36 hours. Of course, all of our employees do have bonuses to their productivity. That should be done quicker than that. At the same time, we could put down a second bot production facility, though we're going to need 50 steel for that. That might be a minute or two. We're just going to wait until this first one produces. This here is producing biofuel. And biofuel, I think it's going into that one. Is it? Oh, yeah, there we go. So biofuel is what powers them. We're not producing any of the catalyst just yet, and we are not producing any of the punch cards. The reason I've turned those off is I want to actually show you what the bots are like when they're at their base default, and then what happens when we start juicing them up with bonuses. Our first Beaver 1000 is complete. Where'd you go? There they are. So, this Beaver comes with a... Well, this Beaver bot comes with a base working speed bonus of plus 65%. They also have a movement speed bonus of plus 30%. If we compare that to our bios, they usually get... What are they getting? At current rates, plus 80% working speed, plus 30% movement speed. So, not quite comparable. The bots are slightly worse. Do bear in mind, though, we have provided an awful lot of bonuses here and a variety of food types to make sure that our regular beavers are getting any bonuses. Now, let's crank it up a bit. You, I want you to start producing catalyst. Now, it's going to take them a minute. They're going to have to get their hands on extract and maple syrup, and then they're going to start churning out catalysts. For 1 maple syrup and 1 extract, we get 3 catalyst. And... No, I'm not going to unpause that just yet. Oh, one thing. What are we going to do with that beaver? Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait till the second beaver bot is done, and then I'm going to show you some joyous things you can do with them. Damn it. They already got there. Timberbot 1 already got into the catalyst stash. After consuming the catalyst, they're now able to move at 100, or they have a working speed bonus of 110% and a movement speed bonus of 60%, which means they're already ahead of all of our regular beavers. Our regular beavers only have plus 80%, plus 30%, so they have an extra 30% bonus for movement and working speed, which makes them kind of awesome. Now, then let's unpause this and start getting them working on punch cards. Punch cards are made from, well, wood, effectively. You take logs, you turn the logs into 2 paper, you take that 2 paper and 1 plank, and you turn it into a punch card. And then they'll consume 1 punch card a day, so you're basically turning wood into productivity bonuses. And Timberbot 1 has also got into the punch cards now as well. And would you look at that? Plus 170% working speed, 80% movement speed, and that, so long as they get one catalyst and one punch card and one biofuel a day, they just keep going and going and going. They have a durability rating. I believe it lasts for, damn it, how long is the durability? According to the wiki, 70 days. So this bot will survive for 70 days. Now, we would just get one more bot complete, and we can have a little bit more fun with them. Now, this beaver is almost complete, and boom, we now have 2 biobot beavers. Then what we want to do is switch this building over to run entirely with bots. Now, the way they've done this is you have to pay in research. Not for each building, but to unlock a workplace. So if we pay this much, this will cost us 10,000 science points. It's not cheap. We can now man this place with bots. And now the 2 timber bots that are running around the place will run over here and man it. Or bought it? Yeah, they bought the... They bought man it. You know what I mean, anyway. However, there is some extra bonuses to timber bots. They don't sleep. That means they'll stay in there, and they'll work day and night with their massive bonuses, and at the same time, whenever they get thirsty, they'll just pop down here, and... Oh, wait, nope, damn it, I can't. They'll pop down here and grab some catalyst, and then they can pop over here... Oh, sorry. They'll grab some biofuel, then some catalyst, and they'll also zip over to... Where is it? I want to say... Here, punch cards, yes. So... Basically, they can just run downstairs, grab all 3 of those things, and that tops them up so that they can just keep working. So while everyone else is sleeping, they're still making more of their kind. That's the plan. What we're going to do is we're going to fill out... The next thing is the bot part over there. Once all 3 bot part machine fabricators have bots in them, then we can start backfilling all the rest of the bits, including the mines. Also, they can't get injured. They just last for 70 days and just keep working forever. So we don't need any more biological beavers. So long as we can just keep these running forever. And how much steel have we got? 44. Once we get a 50 steel, we can put in a second bot fabricator. We'll need another 2 bio beavers or bot beavers for that. But that's it. We're just going to keep going. And oh, we already have a 3rd bot in that case. That costs 5k. Yeah, off you go. We got another timber bot in there. And it keeps going and going and going. Oh, okay. I think that's enough for today. We now have 2 bot assemblers powered by bots. Also, all of the parts assemblers. So the bot part factories, the 3 of them, they're all powered by bots as well. I've even put on a smelter as well to make sure we get as much steel as possible because we need it. And oh my god, those metal blocks are flying in. Anyway, this means it's just a case of scaling up, producing more and more bots, buying a few more workplaces for them. Can they be bought into science? Yes, they can. No need though. And the plan would be this. We're going to take all of the bio beavers and probably turn them into, I know, haulers, science, something like that. Non-dangerous jobs. Namely because mines over here result in a lot of injuries. Also, they have to sleep. The biobots don't. We just throw the bots in there and the bots will just keep working those mines 24/7 to give us more steel to produce more bots. This is just the first wave of bots. Once we've got this in, we should put in a second one probably across here somewhere. Also, we're going to need probably a second farm to produce more wood. Actually, no, the woods is actually catching up. You know what? We'll worry about that the next day. Okay, but my numbers can't be accurate here. It's 36 hours to produce a beaver bot. But they get a plus 70% bonus. That's not a 70% bonus, 170, so 2.7 times faster than normal. And with this setup, we can support 2 of them running at the same time. This works out about 250 bots. By the time the first bot dies, you'll have produced 250 bots. So you'll have a floating population of 250, assuming you can keep the scrap flowing, the lumber flowing, and that's basically you just need scrap and lumber, and that will get you all the bots and the punch cards. And then if you want to get the catalyst on top of that, you're going to need to keep up with maple syrup and bad water. Maple syrup, we might need to actually expand the farms for that. We only have 1 stack of maple. Ooh, I say we just double up in the next episode. I say, like, do some more bots, and then just the next floor, like floor 2, or sorry, this is the second floor, the 3rd floor. We make it another bot fabricator. That means we can support 500 bots. They don't need houses. They don't need sleep. We might need more spuds. I have no problem making more spuds. and then we can just have 500 bots to just terraform the entire map. We'll probably decrease our beaver population a bit. We won't get rid of them entirely. I mean, they can. We'll find a use for them somewhere. We might decrease the numbers to reduce the pressure on our water supply. You know what? That's for the next episode. I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.